Hi, I'm Dashton, and I'd like to introduce you to the most important number in all of education, a number that's huge for kids like me. In fact, it's a big deal for all Americans. 32! So number 32 is so special. 3 super smart professors from Stanford, Harvard, and Munich, that's in Germany, I looked it up, got together to write a whole book about it. So what makes 32 so special? Well, for one thing, it's the number of teeth in your mouth. It's also 2 to the 5th power. And the number of pages in a comic book. Now you're probably thinking, wait a minute, Dash, you said this is about education. All right, I was just trying to get your attention. All across the country, adults and kids are being told that public schools are failing. Maybe you've heard the system is broken, or maybe you've seen signs and posters asking you to help save schools. But what exactly does that mean? Are they talking about grades, or graduation rates, or money, or what? Well, if you really want to know how schools are doing, you need to look at the big picture. So these professors decided to study the whole world of education. In every one of these countries, kids like me are learning science, math, and reading so that we can grow up to be doctors, artists, engineers, inventors, whatever we want, and whatever the world needs. Now, some of these countries are kicking butt, statistically speaking. And others are getting better all the time. While the best countries keep finding new ways to lift kids to the top, America's way down here, in the middle of the middle, number 32. And according to the professors, that's just the beginning of a humongous story, one that everybody needs to hear. Origin story time!
Way back in the year 2000, a bunch of grown-ups got together for a pizza party. Everyone was laughing and dancing and wearing funny hats. And just before the pizza was served, somebody said, "Hey guys, you know how education is really important?" And everyone was like, "Yeah, of course." Well, what if we created a big test to help us see which countries do the best job educating kids? Great idea! What should we call it? Why don't we call it a pizza test? Now, can we eat?
But when the test came back, even though America was the richest, most powerful nation in the history of the world, we're just mediocre. And more than 10 years later, we're still stuck in the middle, between Portugal and Italy. When you get right down to it, even our best students, like me, are struggling to break out of the middle of the pack. America's headed for trouble, future trouble. For a long time, adults have known that smarter countries grow faster and get richer. Kids who learn reading and science and math grow up and solve big problems and create cool new stuff.
Look up in the sky, it's Super Future Dash, powered by a great education, turbocharging the economy with his amazing brainy beam.
If you expect future me to cure cancer or create awesome jobs for my classmates, then my school needs to activate some serious superpowers, ASAP. So what are we going to do about it? Lots of people say that we can fix our schools by spending more money. Maybe they don't know that we already spend more than pretty much every other country. More than $12,000 per student every year. Okay, so the Swiss spend more than us, but they're probably spending most of it on chocolate. In the US, states like Florida have already helped students improve without spending any extra money. And in New York and Wyoming, they spend boatloads without helping kids at all. So why aren't we learning from successful states? Why aren't more schools making big changes? Here's what I think. Change is easy for us kids. We're practically new people every day. But it seems like change can be really hard for some adults, especially when they're worried about their jobs. That's why grown-ups are fighting over even teeny, tiny changes. But unless you want to be number 32 forever, it seems like what we need is deep change. Oops, just a sec.
Deep change. Just look. Whoops.
Just look at how much things have changed since my mom and dad were my age. Music, games, jobs. It seems like everything is changing at lightning speed. So why can't schools keep up? Luckily, there are plenty of other countries, and even states right here in the US that are making big changes and seeing results. All we have to do is follow their lead, or take the lead ourselves. So I'm doing my part and telling every grown-up I know to take a look at the facts in this brand new brainy book. Even the crew. We need to get a move on. Otherwise, we might freeze up. After all, we are number 32.